I like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This comedy special is called Dave Chappelle, The Closer. He gets into a lot of stuff for an hour and 12 minutes. Spoiler alert, let's just get it. Kind of a spoiler alert. So he's doing a special in Detroit, and supposedly this is supposed to be his last special on Netflix. He talks about topics such as the vaccine. He says he got vaccinated. Every now and then he throws in little Martin Luther King lines, or somewhat, you have to see it to get it. He kept talking about how he watched videos about black people beating up Asian people. He talks about this movie concept that he was trying to come up with, this movie called Space Jews. Now, I'm not sure if he's really doing this or not, but the joke comes back up later on in the special. And trust me, if you know Dave Chappelle, he brings it back around full circle. Then he talks about the gay community, and then he really gets on the subject of what everybody ridicules him about, the LGBT community. And me personally, I think he has a lot of great points in it. Then he talks about the situation with a rapper by the name of The Baby, who was in a controversial situation of getting canceled after he said some quote-unquote gay slander during a concert in Florida. He talks about quote-unquote real gays back in the day used to have things called glory holes. Then he talks about certain situations where certain people have stopped them that are part of the transgender community. And a while ago, they tried to quote-unquote cancel them for that shit. He talks about him living in Ohio, and how he thinks they're the most gorgeous women out there in the world. But his perception of gorgeous is white women with dirty feet. I mean, you never know. It's Dave Chappelle we're talking about here. He slid in only one line when he talked about losing $50 million. You know, from the Chappelle Show stuff and all that. Then he talks about how he looked up in a dictionary and he was like, oh, he found out the real definition of a feminist. Trying to get people to go to this women's march, and they're like, nah, they ain't going. He's got this lady named Angie that's supposed to be a feminist or whatever like that. He asked her and she was like, man, I hope them bitches get tear gassed. So basically, she wasn't with all the stuff they was talking about either. Now, he's all fine with the feminist movement, but he wasn't fine with how they went about it. And he was basically trying to give him pointers about how he would have went about the situation. Then he talked about the laws in North Carolina about bathrooms. Yeah, I'm not going to elaborate on that one. Then he talks about this guy that was a farmer who used to be a slave. Then when he got some money, he actually bought slaves. I'm telling you, this shit was wild. Then he talks about this lady that he met in a bar who he was trying to be nice to. And she said she had a daughter in Hollywood who was actually a transgender daughter. That story turns upside down. Then another time he went to this hole-in-the-wall bar and he actually saw the daughter that the lady showed her about a couple months ago. Yeah, that's a wild story too. Then they talk about how they canceled J.K. Rowling. You know, if you don't know who that is, that's the person that wrote all the Harry Potter books. Then he finishes off the special with this woman that he truly liked, this transgender woman who was a comedian named Daphne Gorman. And this story is a real story, and it really stems home the point of a lot of things that he talked about the entire special. So I'm going to tell all y'all this right now. Watch this damn special before people or other people come in there and try to cancel this shit. Because he definitely goes in full-fledged on everything he wants to talk about. Because as he said in the special, people tried to cancel him on Twitter. He's like, I don't give a fuck about Twitter. It's not a real place. Words from Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, The Closer on Netflix. Check it out. Like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Look, these, y'all, these, bitch. Big. He got his slogan.